Attorney, I think you do the job of 1.5 people. That was the attorney's response when I asked him whether he acknowledges that I do the job of 2 people. I posted this under our paralegal, but thought I'd share it here, since the obvious question is why I should have an unfair workload in exchange for making the attorney over $500,000 each year, with minimal oversight or effort on his end. Another senior immigration paralegal and I recently had a 3.5-hour meeting with the attorney to discuss the caseload, particularly amid repeated warnings that the attorney expects a huge boom in new business this year. The problem is that we are already doing the work of 2 people with minimal oversight and support. Everything is rubber stamped by the attorney, so we're essentially expected to engage in UPL on a daily basis. On top of that, we're at the point that we can't even keep up with our email inboxes and client correspondence. And the administrative infrastructure is like the Wild West. The pay isn't bad, $90,000. But we have no benefits other than 401k, and it takes 7 years of employment to even get 15 vacation days that we struggle to use because of the workload. And no raise in 2 years. I don't do overtime anymore out of principle since he refuses to pay for it, despite salaried paralegals being non-exempt employees. In other words, just because a job is salaried doesn't mean that it is ineligible for overtime pay. I'm single-handedly doing $600,000 to $700,000 of business, with very little time commitment from the attorney, for perhaps a TA pay, but FDR benefits and workload. Even the pay is smoke and mirrors when taking into account the lack of substantial benefits. The paralegal and I approached him to discuss how we are going to handle this additional workload when we are already at a state of burnout. To the attorney's credit, he recently hired assistants for us. But the problem is that they were nepotism hires and don't seem to be a good fit for the role. Or at the very least, it will take a substantial investment to get them battle ready. At this stage, any work the assistant completes needs to be reviewed to the point that it would have probably been more efficient to do it myself. This isn't entirely the assistant's fault since, while I don't think she is a good fit, she lacks experience, but the burden is still on my shoulders. Returning to the title of this post, when we tried to explain all of this, I asked the attorney point blank whether he even believes that I do the work of 2 people. I explained that I know this since I have worked other jobs, worked at other firms, have compared notes with other immigration paralegals, and have seen the requirements of other job postings over the years. His response was, "I think you do the job of 1.5 people. The fact that he even admitted that is bad enough, since it begs the question why I should be required to do the work of 1.5 people to earn my keep, particularly when I'm consistently handling over $500,000 in cases each year, with minimal oversight or time investment on his end. It's like eating the golden goose to burn me out. Obviously, I'm in the process of looking for a new job. I've seen job postings here and there for lower, but not far lower salaries, but with benefits and a lower caseload requirement. Even if the ads are blowing smoke about the expected caseload, I'm already doing 2 to 3 times more, so I doubt it would be worse. If you read all of this, thank you for sharing in my bitching and moaning session." That phrase was super insulting. Good luck with the job hunt. Does that mean he is acknowledging you should get 50% raise? It's a good case study in negotiation. He only said that because he didn't want you to be right. If you aren't being paid the work for 1.5, time to start working 1.0. So you admit that I do more than one person's worth of work? Quote, "Immigration paralegal. Enough said. That alone means you are overworked and underpaid. I'd love to know which one. Good. So I expect a raise to $135,000 effective immediately. Along with 4 weeks paid leave a year. Full medical and dental. 401k with a match up to 5%. If they balk, you walk. Workers unite. So you're working 2 jobs at $45,000 each. Between you and your coworker, do you know how to handle the business side of it too? Because you two could totally just set up a new shop and hire a cheap young attorney for the rubber stamping. Great. When will I see my new salary of $135,000 reflected? Quote. He's trying to save money because he has enough work for 1.5 people of your caliber. Since you are getting it done, he doesn't plan on hiring a second person. He's being short-sighted, as when you leave he'll need 2 people to do your job. I'm going through the same thing. With the exception of management and the boss failing to realize that I have double the caseload. Working for 2 attorneys. And I do calendaring for the entire firm. And during weekly meetings, when they ask why hasn't this or that been completed, I just want to broadly gesture and say because of the crippling workload and lack of support. So you agree that I will require a raise? He admits he thinks you do the job of 1.5 underappreciated people. I assume he doesn't feel like he needs to pay you 1.5x your pay or even offer you minimal benefits. Figures. Can't wait to see how he handles things with only his nepotism hire and 4 people's worth of caseloads without y'all. It takes 7 years of employment to even get 15 vacation days. That's plausible for US standards, but I am crying for you over here in Europe. Then ask for 1.5 the pay. He admitted it. Ask him how he would justify paying less.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.